match was sadly taped up too.
yeah,
I know. It was really
Yeah,
that one. The whole thing where she, got tossed into the second point about turnbuckle. I honestly thought there was, oh shit, we're gonna have a Sasha Banks thing all over again.
oh no.
And then when she came out with medical tape on her arm, I'm thinking, great. So now she's gonna go into Cesaro mode. Jeez.
Maybe she won't.
Let me have Sasha versus Bayley at WrestleMania, please. Please, let me have one good thing to remember WrestleMania by. Redeem this year's WrestleMania.
Seriously. WWE gets injuries like I get tech failures.
Yeah.
So we're going to skip over a couple of the matches that really aren't going to matter. Bo Dallas.
I'm okay with that.
Can we talk about the bomb failure that was Bork Laser and Paul freaking Heyman?
We'll get to that here in just a second. Before we get to that, I want to talk about the contract signing for the Women's Championship match.
Yeah.
First of all,
One of the only good parts of Raw.
Mick fucking Foley. Oh my god. Like, I was sitting there watching Raw. It was like, oh. That was one of those genuine, raw emotions that, or just one of those raw moments that you could tell that this was almost like, it was like real.
Yeah, this was basically a shoot for him. I mean,
right.
Like, when he started talking about, his hip bone grinding against his leg with every step, and, you heard his voice breaking and cracking as he's basically I don't want you to do this. You shouldn't want to do this. This really is every bit as dangerous as everyone has always said it is. It's just, you get that feeling in your gut. It's kind of it's almost like watching a horror movie a little bit, where you're just the character you like is, they're going downstairs and the monster, the killer, whatever's down there, and you're just no, don't do it. Don't open the door. You open the door. Okay, don't go down the stairs. Don't do this. And it's one of those times where I'm like, yeah, Hell in a Cell. Watch this segment of Raw. Yeah, Hell in a Cell. Please don't kill each other. Please. Maybe just have a wrestling match, like a normal one, or just don't die. Please don't die. Please. And nobody fall off the roof. God. I thought Shane almost died.
Yeah.
Good Lord. But this whole thing was just God. And I know it's going ahead a little bit, but this. And he basically said, he referenced everything Foley said, and then he goes, but everyone still wants to do it because there's the history, there's the excitement, and it's just kind of, I like, whether they intended to or not, they basically had Mick Foley give every single reason why no one in their right mind would do this. Ah, crap, Mike. That screen's going crazy. Anyway, ignoring it. No, it's okay. It's just my computer slowly dying. It's fine. But,
no worries.
No, it's fine. No, but then you have this juxtaposition where they have but basically give all the reasons why they'd want to do it anyway. It was kind of perfect in its own really kind of warped way.
Right.
At least I thought so.
Right. Yeah. So, people, if you have not seen this promo yet, we'll throw it up on our Facebook page, Evolve Productions 316 on Facebook. Oh my God! It gives me chills thinking about this promo and just the raw emotion from Mick Foley from this promo. So now, Nate, the effing great, you just brought it up. I want to bring it up. Wow, what were they thinking? Trying to make Brock Lesnar the bad guy in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Not even that. I mean, you obviously could tell it failed. I mean, The crowd was chanting Goldberg sucks, and they were chanting Brock and Suplex City, But at the end of it, Heyman and Brock still acted like they were pissed that everyone was chanting.
Goldberg. Yeah.
Did you turn off your hearing aids after the? Did you just like every time it's like Goldberg sucks and you just switch it off in the middle so you only heard Gold? What the fuck was that?
So I don't know if you guys read some of the backstage comments and stuff. It sounds like, from what I've read, Vince McMahon was so upset about this promo that the reason that the music went off so early, why it was such a short segment, was because Vince was so pissed he cut the segment short and turned on Brock's music, and they hightailed it out of there.
The one thing he decides, nah, man, this don't work. We should just cut it now. The one thing. Dude lets Katie Vick go, but this is where he draws the line.
Oh, man. Yeah. So that was amazing.
Why even try this?
Yeah.
I have an idea. Let's turn Brock Lesnar in 2016 heel in his hometown.
Yeah.
I would have still continued the promo. I mean,
Yeah.
it may have not gone the way that he wanted to go, but you could still talk about the fact that, hey, Brock Lesnar's still going to dismantle Goldberg. He's going to tear his shoulder off, so there's no chance in hell that he could do a spear or a jackhammer. He's going to beat him up in front of his wife and kid. That probably would have gotten them some booze.
Oh, hell yeah.
You gotta think around the thing. It's acting 101. If something doesn't go your way, you improvise and you try to get it so it works.
Yeah.
If you just give up on it, then the show is going to majorly flop. But then again, it's Monday Night Raw, and it was destined to flop from the beginning, except with a couple exceptions in the contract signed and a couple other things. But this was where it was like the final nail on the freaking coffin.
Seriously. I still just come back to the question of, dude, fine. Just don't do it in his hometown.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Hell, if you're that worried about it, you've done this one before. Pipe in the booze.
Mm-hmm.
Make it so it at least sounds like a split reaction. I mean, you've got Kevin Dunn, master of editing. You could pull it off.
With the huge ass teeth.
Kevin Dunn and his huge editor's teeth.
At Ross on Wrestling. Follow him.
Motherfucker edits my sign.
Yeah, so very quickly, I want to go over this before we go to break. The triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho. Seth Rollins pins both Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho with a double power bomb, and pins them both simultaneously. After the match, KO, Jericho, just dismantle Seth Rollins. Security comes out featuring TW3 and Joey the Jet Avalon, may I remind you.
Which, by the way, after all the times we've mentioned all the times we've mentioned Wisconsin Pro Wrestling, if you still don't know who those names are, I hate you.
Yeah, I remember watching,
especially TW3 X-Ray.
Yeah, I was really happy. I was pretty proud to be a wrestling fan of Wisconsin when I saw those two on Raw. So
that was and one of the highlights of the show for me.
Yeah.
Although admittedly, I'd just like to point out that, and many people have corrected me and said, Kevin Owens has, gotten wins pretty consistently since he picked up the belt. And you know what? Those people are right. He still looks like a fucking chump, and he had his best friend in the ring, and they got beaten both.
Right, yeah.
Handily.
Yep, so it'll be Kevin Owens. Yeah, it'll be Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell. One match that we left out here that's also going to be Hell in a Cell is going to be Roman Reigns versus Rusev, which
I want to talk about it.
Looking at the Raw recap,
the feud ends at Hell in a Cell. Bottom line, move the fuck on.
I don't even care if I'm continuing to watch Raw after Hell in a Cell because it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. I mean, Hell in a Cell, I said this before the show started. It's officially WrestleMania time again. Hell in the Cell is at least passable, I will continue watching Raw. No longer feature Raw, they will feature SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But even if I keep watching, I'll just skip those segments with Roman and Rusev if they decide to keep this going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's getting pretty long now. So we're going to take a quick break, come back, and then we are going to make our predictions for Hell in a Cell, which is going to be for the Squared Circle Podcast Heavyweight Championship. That's going to be next here on the Squared Circle. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Spencer Hart from the Squared Circle Podcast. Wanted to let you know about some amazing news. You can listen to the Squared Circle Podcast right now on the new Satchel podcast player for both Android and iPhones. Here's the deal. While you're listening to us on Satchel, you can quickly and easily send us a few dollars to make our show even better. So if you're listening to us on Satchel right now, go ahead and click that donate button and send us some much appreciated donations. And if you're not listening to us on Satchel, I mean, come on, what are you doing? Download the podcast player right now at satchelplayer.com. Exclusive friends of the Squared Circle Podcast.
What is going on, guys? This is the Loose Cannon, Nate the Effing Great, here to tell you about a great company known as AJsBelts.com. Why are they so great, you ask? Well, let me tell you, they have every single championship belt that you can imagine, from classic championships to modernized championships. Hell, even they do MMA championships. They have great deals on championship belts, and I know what you're thinking. What if you can't afford them right now? No problem. They have a great layaway program, as well as if you go through PayPal credit, you can get your championship belts right away. A&J's Belts, the proud sponsors of the Squared Circle Podcast.
Welcome back to the Squared Circle Podcast on Spreaker.com, iTunes Player.fm, PodDirectory.com, Stitcher.com, TuneIn Radio, IWNerd.com, and Satchel Player on your iOS and Android apps. Alright, so it is going to be round 3, Nate the Effing Great versus me, the Squared Circle Podcast Heavyweight Champion, Spencer Hart. It's going to be predictions during Hell in a Cell. Max, you are going to be our moderator for this one, so Nate?
I make no promises.
Nate? Are you ready?
What?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Well, there's something you failed to mention there, Mr. Spencer Hart, because I guess you don't listen to the show as well as you claim to. You're also back on YouTube under my account, Mr. MTG1990. And of course, if you want me to change that, not on your life. So now I'm ready to make predictions. So Max, please.
As not a problem. As your master of ceremonies, we will begin with the pre-show.
Before you do that, sorry, it's tradition.
No?
I gotta play the goddamn sounder. Hang on.
Ah, dang.
The following predictions are scheduled for WWE Hell in a Cell, and they are for the Squared Circle Podcast Heavyweight Championship. All right, Max, we can go ahead and start with the first match. What do you got?
All right.
Wait.
What was that? Was that you doing the introduction again?
Of course. Why wouldn't it be me?
Hashtag bring back Mike.
Hey, he is back on the radio now. We should start getting him. We'll get him for Survivor Series. He is back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what the hell we're talking about, our good friend of the show, Mike Mathers, a few months ago suffered a stroke. He's doing phenomenal. He's a little bit of double vision yet, a little wobbliness, but he's back on the radio here in Wausau, Wisconsin on WIFC. So he's doing just fine. So
stay strong, Mike. We love you, man.
All right, Max, what do you got?
All right, we'll be starting with the pre-show, and before we announce this match, I just want to say, why the hell isn't this on the main card? It's the only thing on the pre-show. No, we gotta have... No, get into the matches. First match is a 6-man tag match in the Cruiserweight division. Cedric Alexander, Lince Dorado, and Sin Cara versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Araya Davari. Who you got, gentlemen?
All right, I'll start here. This is basically Team Face is going to be Cedric Alexander, Lince Dorado, Sin Cara. Team Heel is going to be Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Davari. I've got Team Face. I really need Sin Cara to have a good showing in this match. Yep. because Sin Cara is now part of the Cruiserweight division, and if they kind of want to rebrand Sin Cara